What would you do if a wealthy entrepreneur offers you a business partnership? It might sound appealing at first because he's more established, more knowledgeable, and more experienced than you. So here's the scenario. You walk into his office and he discussed the terms. He has only four rules. Listen very carefully and tell me if you would accept the offer or not. Number one is you will be the only one to put in all the money to start up the business. You will need to raise the capital and you will get a tax break on that. Number two, you will be the only one to pay all the fees and maintenance to keep the business going. So that means the monthly fees will come out from your own pocket. Number three, you will be the only one to take all the risks associated with the business. If the business goes down or if it is slow and not making any money, it has to be all on you. You're going to have to take all that, and he's not going to be responsible for that. And number four, you do not have control over the ownership. Let's say you kept the business going for 30 to 40 years, and after that, he would say how much is his share and how much is yours. It would all depend on how much he would need at that time. What would you do if this was offered to you? Would you sign this partnership? Just like me, you might say, absolutely not. There's no way I would touch those papers and sign. But what if I told you that you probably have signed and you are in this partnership already? You might think, what do you mean, Mary? Well, these are the rules in an RRSP. And let me reveal to you that the wealthy entrepreneur is the government of Canada. The rules are you're going to put in all the money, pay all the fees associated with your RRSP, take all the risks because since it's an investment, it fluctuates. And the most of all, when you take out your money, the government takes its piece of the pie first because any income you withdraw from your RRSP is considered taxable. And this is where most people get burned. They just open an RRSP to save for retirement without knowing if this is the best plan for them. And when they take out the money, they get shocked with the amount of tax that they have to pay on withdrawal. Let me be clear that I'm not saying that RRSP is bad. This is a good plan, but it has its own purpose. It has its advantages and disadvantages. But what I'm trying to say here is that you have to know if this is the right plan for your hard-earned money. And since it's that time of the year again to file our taxes, some people are actually taking advantage of an RRSP for this very reason. But before you open an account, or if you have one already and you want to put more money in it, you must check carefully because instead of saving on taxes, you might pay more and lose more money down the road. Let's start with the basics. What does RRSP stand for? It stands for Registered Retirement Savings Plan. The government introduced it in the late 50s to motivate people to save for retirement. But since then, there have been accounts created that might be a better option for you, like the TFSA. And all these plans are unique in their own way. Although the name says savings plan, it is actually an investment account, meaning you buy and hold investments like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, REITs, you name it. And like I said, there are advantages and disadvantages when using an RRSP to build your retirement fund. I will do a separate video on the benefits of an RRSP, but right now let's talk about why it might not be the best option for you. And there are three things to consider. Number one is if you have low income. The major benefit of an RRSP is it is a tax deferred plan, meaning you delay paying taxes. The amount of money you contribute to an RRSP can be deducted to your taxable income. So it lowers your taxable income. But the caveat to that is that the amount you withdraw from your RSP is considered taxable. The idea for having an RSP is that during your high income years, you can put money in this account to save on taxes, then withdraw it at retirement when you're not working anymore and you're supposed to be in a lower tax bracket. So if you have low income, then this might not work in your favor. Number two is when you have work pension. If you have multiple sources of income when you retire, let's say you have a pension from your workplace, your CPP, your OAS, and your RRSP, if you sum up all of that, it might put you in a higher tax bracket and you might be paying more on taxes when you retire than when you're working. So you might also experience clawback on other benefits that you expect to receive. Number three is if you are retiring in another country, any income you withdraw from your RRSP is considered taxable. And depending on where you go, you might pay tax on that income twice. Also, not all countries recognize RRSP and the tax implications. So when you decide to set money aside, you have to think that it is not just for your retirement. It is about creating tax efficient wealth and cash flow in the future. And that is your penny factor for today. Do not just open an account for the sake of having it. Make sure that you run the numbers and it is a suitable account for your needs. And I hope that this one small change can make a difference in your life. And again, this is not a professional advice. You have to do your own diligence if you are to make a financial decision. Until next time, stay safe.